Hey everybody, welcome back to the Red Arrows Formula 1 League. We're here tonight for the latest round in this season. We're here tonight at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix in the sunset here in the Styrian Mountains as the lights are coming on at the head of the grid. And it is lights out and we are underway. ZX10 gets a decent start there from pole. Super Striker is a reserve tonight on the inside there in second place. He's got Formula C round his outside going through turn one, but Super Striker closes, holds on for the time being there in second place. I think Super Striker might actually be a full-time driver tonight, so or for this season actually. Might have returned to the league, which would be exciting to see. But we've got Onzi here moving ahead of Honey Badger up into fourth place as they go up into turn two. And Jordan Hilliard's gained a few places here. Little Mahin down a couple of places. We've got Cucumber there getting ahead of Honey Badger up into fifth place as they are on the run down towards turn three. But Lucky Luciano's got ahead of Corey Brennan, the championship leader actually, Corey, so far this season. But Corey's got back ahead there coming out of turn three for the time being, back up into 11th place. However, ZX10 leads as they're coming through the middle sector of the lap. We've got Cucumber now trying to make a move here on Onzi. But Onzi for the time being holds on to that one in that battle for fourth and fifth places. But Cucumber looking to try and get on with this here in the early stages. The champion of the Red Arrows F1 League from 2 seasons ago, currently in amongst it, trying to fight for a podium place here in these early stages of the race. But out the front is ZX10, who has the advantage, and he's looking pretty good out the front. Isn't under too much pressure from Super Striker at this moment in time, as Honey Badger made the move there on Cucumber up into P5. So Cucumber was attacking on Onzi, has now lost out to the Alpine here, although he's not done as Cucumber. He's looking to try and make the move here up the hill towards turn two. They're side by side here, Cucumber and Honey Badger. Who's going to come out on top in this one? As Cucumber down the inside there, and that's going to be job done there as Dave and Jordan are battling it out as well. And Jordan's got back out of Dave there up into 7th place. Ernie's made the move there on Lucky Luciano, although Lucky Luciano's not done here as they come down the hill towards turn three. And Lucky Luciano there on the outside, looking like we're back up into P12 there. So that's a position regained there for Lucky Luciano, getting back ahead of Ernie in that one. But ZX10 out the front with a half second of a gap over Super Striker at the moment. Let's check the tyres, see what tyres they're on, because that will obviously be a big indicator of what to expect. It looks like the top 10 are all on medium tyres, so no real variance here. Corey and Lucky Luciano, the ones who have gone for the hard tyres for this opening stint. Also Andrew Pittsmith doing likewise. Super Striker there faster on that previous lap than ZX10, not by much, only by about a tenth of a second, but we know the DRS is OP as heck around this track, so we're going to be seeing, I think, a lot of slipstream DRS moves over the course of this race. Super Striker using the DRS to get a little bit close to the back of ZX10 into turn two, too far back just at the moment, but he'll look to try and get the slingshot here down towards three and potentially take the lead of the race. Super Striker poised to do something here as he now looks to the inside, and this is going to be a move for the lead of the race, and the Ferrari driver here takes the lead into turn three, and ZX10 wasn't in position to do too much about that, but with the DRS being as powerful as it is, I think that this battle is going to be raging on for quite some time yet. But Cucumber on the inside here of Honey Badger. Honey Badger trying to hang it around the outside. Cucumber though is going to try and squeeze him to the edge of the track here. They're still side by side, and what a fight this is between these two. Honey Badger just about manages to make it around the outside there and gets himself back up into P5. Great fight there between those two as Cucumber they're trying to regain position, but Cucumber unable to get that one back there off of Honey Badger, as we see Onzi's made the move there on Formula C up into third place as they're coming over the line here to start lap 4 of the race for the time being. But ZX10 here on the back of Super Striker right now as they're coming up the hill towards turn 2. Onzi here coming under a bit of pressure from Formula C at this moment in time. There's Honey Badger, Cucumber ahead of Jordan and Dave. And you've got Little Mahin and Angry Guns there completing the top 10, followed by Corey and Lucky Luciano. There's Nobby Bootneck and Andrew Pittsmith. Ernie a little way behind him. Not having a night so far as Ernie, I'll tell you that. It's very unlike Ernie to see him down as far as he is at this point. But in the meantime, Super Striker and ZX10 are still fighting it out here out the front. Looks like the TTRL boys aren't here tonight. Shane and... Hold on, somebody got sideways there. I think they might have got away with it. Yeah, no dramas, but that was definitely McLaren there, was sideways. In fact, it was Dave. And Dave is actually dropping a few places here, so he did get out of the shape. He kind of half lost it there going through the double left-hander. And obviously to the next corner, he seems to have fully lost it. So Dave here is down to P14. I was going to say, we're missing the TTRL boys tonight of Richie Chapper and Shane. who were here last week, but they haven't been able to make it as reserves here tonight. Those guys, quick drivers, competitive, and you can often expect them to be up there or thereabouts in any league. But Dave nonetheless into the pits here at the end of lap 4. They're certainly, well, over the course of the tier 3 for the TTRL this season, they've been absolutely hot shots. But anyway, Honey Badger and Cucumber again side by side down towards turn 3. They've got DRS on the guys behind, on the guys ahead of them. But Cucumber they're making a move back on Honey Badger up into P5. And Cucumber's not done here. He's now looking on the back of Formula C as they come down towards the double left-hander through the middle sector. Formula C is probably more focused on the car in front of him though, because Onzi is looking like a prime target here for him as they're coming through the final couple of corners of the lap here on lap 5 of the race. Out the front, Super Striker's got just under a second of a gap here over Alex Tenner as we see Formula C to the outside here on Onzi. Onzi looking a little bit vulnerable here. Formula C is going to get a chance to blast past here up towards turn 2. He'll be giving away the DRS for the next zone unless he's very smart about this, which he looks like he might be able to be. As he's coming into the zone now, was just behind into the detection point, but he's pushed a little bit wide there. Is Formula C. That's going to give Cucumber P4, and Cucumber now looking to make it 2 moves in the space of a couple of 100 metres here as he looks to the outside now, down towards turn 3. He's going to look to try and go all the way around the long way here. But Onzi covers that off and actually goes a little bit deep on the brakes, which prevented Cucumber from getting the cutback that he would have liked. He's still getting a cutback of sorts, but it's not to the exact extent that I'm sure he would have liked to have executed it there. He's still keeping it around the outside though, and has managed to keep it just about on the circuit there, just tapped the gravel a little bit, kept some great momentum there around the outside, and Cucumber gets that move done up into 3rd place with a phenomenal overtake there, and the perseverance from the Salva driver there was absolutely brilliant. Honey Badger just ahead of Formula C. Formula C is going backwards here on this lap. Jordan Hiddy is now getting involved in this one as well, as we've got Angry Guns and Lucky Luciano here fighting out over P10 and 11 at the moment as they're coming over the line here to start lap 7 of the race. But what battles we're seeing throughout the entire pack at the moment as these two continue to go at it there. But cracking stuff here out the front between Super Striker and ZX10. These 1 second separating them at the moment. We've got Onzi looking to the inside there of Cucumber, a little bit too far back there, going into turn 2 for the time being. But a massive train of cars here from 3rd all the way down to, well, it's looking like it's potentially, are these guys involved in it? Not quite. So you've got 3rd down to 9th place, 7 cars in a line. Formula C's lost another place here, down to P7. So Formula C really struggling at this point here in the race. He's now got Corey on the back of him. Corey, the championship leader on the hard tyres, looking in good stead here tonight, it has to be said. And he's now going to look to the inside and try and make another position gain and continue to knock Formula C while he's down here. Just can't seem to catch a break, can he? The Williams driver at the moment, he's a sitting duck for a lot of these drivers here. His teammate is 4 places behind him on the more durable tyre as well, so he might be having to make way in a minute. But Lucky Luciano's actually got a 3-second penalty as Formula C gets out of shape there going through the final corner. Corey did not need a second invitation there. Corey is now into 7th place there ahead of Formula C. Formula C is just in a bit of a rot at the moment, and I fear that maybe until he pits he'll be stuck in that. Maybe when he pits it might be a chance for him to just sort of reset and go again here. Checking the mic, I'll keep getting paranoid now, because last night I was commentating on the Premier Formula Sim Racing League, and basically I wasn't I was commentating for the first 5 laps, but none of it was recorded because my mic forgot to turn my mic on. Every time I come off a remote play I have to reconfigure the mic, and 90% of the time I remember to do it, but unfortunately 10% of the time I don't, and those 10% of times are really annoying me now, and due to that it's well, it's not ideal, is it, at all? You know, yapping away for 5 laps and then there's absolutely 0 record of it ever happening, which means that it looks like I didn't start commentating until lap 5. But nonetheless, little Matt into the pits here in lap 8. So first driver to come in for a scheduled stop. Well, actually no, Dave might have been a scheduled stop. No, to be fair, he did lose it going through a double left-hand in the middle sector, so I don't know if maybe that was a reactionary stop from Dave. But nonetheless, little Matt definitely a scheduled stop there, getting the hard tyres on. Honey Badger and Cucumber here are battling with Onzi at the moment. Onzi currently in third place and Honey Badger nowhere to go. Cucumber though could take full advantage here as he tries to go around the outside of the Alpines, and he's managed to make that one work beautifully there as he's caught them napping an absolute kipper, and Cucumber they're up into third place. Honey Badger a little bit too far away to make the move there, and Onzi going into the double left-hander has to wait a little bit longer there. Lucky Luciano's got ahead of Angry Guns up into ninth place there on those hard tyres, and can now continue to pick off his way towards the front of the pack here. But Corey absolutely flying on these hard tyres. He's currently on the back of Honey Badger and on the back of this train of cars fighting over the podium places, so he's in a really good position tonight is Corey with these tyres. He can go a long way into this stint. Not quite sure whether or not we're going to be seeing a one stop here tonight. I wouldn't have thought so, considering that people have been getting the mediums off at this early stage. Oh, there's Onzi there getting a penalty, and you can see why, because he was basically a football pitch wide of the track there as he came out of turn 1. Honey Badger looking to the outside here, trying to go for a cutback on Onzi as they're coming down towards turn 3 once again. Onzi with DRS, it's going to help him defend here from his teammate, who looks to the outside but not in a position to do much there. Cucumber still ahead of the guys who he stumbled over the last few laps. Angry Guns has got back ahead of Lucky Luciano here. These two are side by side, and Lucky Luciano there making a move back on him there, going into the left-hander. So Lucky Luciano back up into 8th place there with that one. Corey here looking underneath Honey Badger there, coming into the final couple of corners, but nothing doing at the moment. See a couple of drivers coming into the pits. We've got Super Striker, the race leader, as well as Cucumber and Onzi. We've got Jordan Hillier also into the pits here at the end of lap 10. So is Nobby Bootneck. So quite a lot of drivers taking the liberty to bring it in at the end of this lap. Ernie's also in. So an influx of drivers here bringing it in to put some, what I assume, some hard tyres on for the most part, although Super Striker's gone for a second set of mediums, so he'll have to use the hards for his final stint, which I would have thought probably be starting around lap 20 or 21 and probably do a 15 lap stint to the end on some hard tyres. As Gabboy becomes the third driver here in this race to pick up a track limits penalty. Corey on the hard tyres though, putting the pressure here on the back of Honey Badger. Lucky Luciano, the other driver who started on the hard tyres, only 2 seconds behind him as well. So Lucky Luciano definitely bring himself into this one. We'll see Gabboy there has left the session. I have a funny feeling that one might have been a rage quit. Corey Brennan here, all over the back of Honey Badger. Honey Badger defending half-heartedly there to the middle. Obviously knows that Corey's not going to go for that one into a corner like this. When you've got 2 DRS zones coming up, it would be a foolish move. But Corey here to the inside here as they come up the hill towards turn 2, and he makes that one easily. Now he's going to be giving the DRS away though. So we could be seeing a role reversal here as they come down towards turn 3, as Corey there misses the apex a little bit. Not by a mile, but he certainly missed it. Down towards turn 3 once again here. Honey Badger looks to the inside there, just a bit too far away. So Honey Badger obviously losing that position now to Corey. Corey in some clean air on his more durable tyres. They're going to be quicker than ZX10, the race leader as well at the moment. So they're only 3.5 seconds behind ZX10, and he can really extract the maximum now out of these tyres. He's got to push here as Corey. ZX10 is staying out on those medium tyres. I wonder if ZX10 is planning on attempting a one stop. You'd need to get to around lap 14, I think, at least, to be able to attempt a one stop on his mediums. And then you could probably do 21, 22 laps on the hard tyres potentially. Probably 22 laps. If you get the mediums 14 laps, you could probably get the hards 22, because the fuel load will be considerably lighter. So we see Lucky Luciano there putting some medium tyres on, so very early stop considering that we started on the hard tyres. Super Striker, the net race leader, the driver who led the opening few laps, he's currently running in 4th place, only about 6 seconds off of the race lead. having pitted, so he'll reassume the race leader with absolute certainty. And he's currently, in terms of net race position, he's currently 7 seconds ahead of his nearest pursuer, the Cucumber. But if ZX10 is planning on one stopping, we could be seeing an exciting battle between himself and Super Striker in the latter part of the race. Obviously ZX10, once he puts the hards on, will have a bit of an undercut here on Super Striker. So this is going to be a fascinating battle here between ZX10 and Super Striker here tonight. I fear it's going to be just the two of them battling for the win, but I'm sure we're going to be treated to a spectacle here tonight. We see Andrew Pittsmith here just coming towards the end of the pit lane now, as he's coming up the hill and about to come back out onto the circuit here. So Andrew will be rejoining us in a mo. ZX10 have currently got the gap 3 seconds to Corey. Corey's still bringing the gap down considerably, as Super Striker here has made the move on Honey Badger up into third place, into clean air now. Corey leading the point standings so far this season after 3 races. And doing a great job here tonight. Started down towards the back, but went for those hard tyres, and they've done him pretty nicely here so far. He is going to lead the race. Oh no, he's not, 'cause he's coming into the pits. So he's not going to maximise the options that the hard tyres give you. He's coming into the pits. He ended up at 14. ZX10 are getting the medium tyres off. Now I reckon ZX10 is probably going to try and go to the end here, because if he did 14 laps on the mediums, by that rationale he should be able to do 22 laps on the hards. So he's going to come out onto the track now, and he's, I would assume, going to try and go to the end. Now obviously the undercut's not going to be as powerful here, because he's not going to be pushing absolutely crazily here on these tyres, because he needs to get them to go to the end. So we might not be seeing him set the world alight here over these next few laps. Obviously he'll have good pace being on fresh tyres, but if he's smart about this, he's not going to push too hard too quickly, because these tyres need to be gently caressed to the end of this race. To ride a ball with Jordan Hiddy here on the back of Little Mahin is there, coming through into the final few corners of the lap. Little Mahin just a little bit under threat area of losing the DRS here to Onzi as they're coming through the final corner. Jordan here closing up. Has Little Mahin got DRS? He does, just about, and that's going to keep him. That's going to give him a get out of jail free card there, because obviously if he didn't have the DRS, he would have been very vulnerable here to Jordan. Now does Little Mahin still have DRS? Yep. So Jordan's not going to get a free overtake just yet here on the back of the Ferrari. Onzi here looking racy on the back of Formula C, but a bit too far away to really have a realistic shot. Oh, I think Jordan here must have got a great exit there out of turn 2, because he's blasted past Little Mahin, despite Little Mahin having the DRS, I think. So he's done that one brilliantly. There is Jordan Hillier up into P5. Currently about 11 seconds off for the lead at this moment in time. ZX10 has got ahead of Corey up into P8. They're both on fresh tyres, so that was a crucial move there for ZX10. Obviously Corey has to pit again. ZX10 might not have to. ZX10 has got rapid pace around this track. Here tonight was on pole position. Obviously lost the lead in the opening couple of laps to Super Striker, but has looked on pace. Was only about 2 or 3 seconds behind Super Striker when he came in. That Super Striker came in first out of the two of them. As Honey Badger has just done the fast lap of the race here on the hard tyres actually. He's now on the back of Angry Guns and looking to try and get into the top 10 as soon as he possibly can in the foreground. Got Corey now looking to the inside, and he's going to make that move on ZX10. So ZX10 in a fight for the win here with Super Striker tonight, but he's got to fight Corey, who's on the faster tyres at this point in the stint. As Corey now looking to the inside of Lucky Luciano as well, so he's going to potentially make a couple of moves here in a space of a few corners. He's now slightly behind here as they come down towards the double left-hander, and has to continue to wait a little bit longer there in that fight for P7. ZX10 is right behind these guys, but this is not what he needs, because he's in a fight for the win with Super Striker. Oh, pardon me. I think he just has to be patient here because he knows that Super Striker's on medium tyres and that over the course of this stint he'll probably have better pace in a couple of laps time. So he just needs to get through this difficult phase here where he's got these two medium runners fighting around him here. As there goes Corey getting ahead of Lucky Luciano. Now ZX10 should be able to make the move as well. To the outside he goes into turn 2, late on the brakes. He needs to be careful not to run into the back here of Corey as he now gets around the outside there of Lucky Luciano, keeps it cool and gets that one done there up into P8. So ZX10 now can try and chase after Corey in that fight for 7th place. Has got incredible overspeed there into turn 3. But he looks pretty good at the moment, so just needs to not get carried away here in this fight and just focus on the bigger picture here. Super Striker still the race leader as he's coming towards the end of lap 18, half distance here in this Austrian Grand Prix for the Red Arrows Formula 1 League. Super Striker still doing pretty good times here on these medium tyres. 9 laps old, still lapping within 3/10 of his fastest time in the first sector. That equates to about a second over a lap. As we see Formula C and Onzi here side by side going into turn 2, and Formula C getting the exit. Onzi unable to stay alongside here as they come down towards turn 3. Although saying that, he's looking back down the inside here as he's going to try and lunge one on the brakes. And is he going to get back ahead here? Looks like we're still side by side here, these two. Onzi on the outside as they're coming down towards the double left-hander. Can't see what's going on because the camera just absolutely took a day off there. But Formula C looks like he's lost out in that one. Jordan Hillier now pulling up onto the back of these guys in this fight for the podium places. Onzi's got a penalty as well. I think he might have already had that, I can't remember. But Formula C's moved ahead of Onzi there, coming through into the penultimate corner. Lucky Luciano there with a 3-second penalty. See Onzi there down the inside of Formula C into turn 2. Corey's got ahead of Little Mahin. Is it job done though? Little Mahin trying to keep it around the outside. All the time ZX10 is being held up here. And we know he's got his sights set on bigger things here in this race. He's now looking to the inside of Corey as ZX10. Seems to have got ahead of Corey this time around. Corey unable to fight that one around the outside. So ZX10 now hits P7. Now he needs to try and dispatch Little Mahin as soon as he can here, because he is losing time. ZX10 needs to make this move. He's got 6 lap pressure tyres here in Little Mahin, so it shouldn't be too much of a faff for him to get this one done. Jordan becomes the latest driver, the 5th driver in this race to pick up a penalty. Oh, ZX10 really wide. They go through turn 1. That could have, well, it could have been disaster, but he's far enough ahead of Honey Badger. Honey Badger got ahead of Corey a few moments ago, up into 8th place. But ZX10 are panicking a bit here, I feel. Corey's just managed to, well, he momentarily got back ahead of Honey Badger here as they're coming down towards turn 3 once again. And Corey having to sit in behind there. ZX10 makes the, or does he? No, he doesn't make the move there with Little Mahin. Looked like he might have had a chance there to do it, but didn't quite pull it off there as they went through turn 3. And he's still got to wait here behind the Ferrari. But crucially, these guys are closing in on Super Striker, so he will get the undercut on the fresher hard tyres. But in the final stint, Super Striker's going to have tons of pace. The thing is, though, Super Striker's got to use the hards, so he can't have those faster medium tyres. Although, to be honest, over anything more than a 10-lap stint, I think the hard tyres are going to be the quicker tyre anyway. But nonetheless, ZX10 closing up onto the back of Little Mahin once again. But For the time being, he's hanging on in there, is the Ferrari driver. Now he needs to stay in the slipstream for as long as he can, because he's got a load of cars behind him, but I don't think he's aware of that. But nonetheless, he's still going to make the move here, up the hill towards turn 2 should I say, and ZX10 has made that move there, and he's made it stick very nicely, but he could be vulnerable here to the DRS pack behind him, as Little Mahane loses out to Honey Badger and Corey. Those two are side by side, as ZX10 are leading this pack of cars. But ZX10 seems to have got away ahead of this pack. Little Mahane there with a 3-second penalty. And Corey there didn't manage to get a Little Mahane. So Little Mahane there got back ahead of Corey down towards turn 3. As we see Super Striker, the race leader's now into the pits. So now that's going to mean that the net leader will effectively be... well, it's Cucumber at the moment. So Onzi's also into the pits here at the end of lap 22. So is Jordan as well. Jordan's only been on those tyres for 12 laps, so is Onzi. So into the pits those guys come, and off and away Jordan goes. There's Onzi. Super Striker already back out on the circuit, but has got some traffic here, which could be a bit of a frustrating situation there for him. But Honey Badger looking to get involved here with ZX10. Obviously has managed to gain quite a lot, whilst ZX10 was stuck in traffic there with Corey and Lucky Luciano and Little Mahane. So he's only about a second and a half behind, but ZX10 seems to have the pace over Honey Badger at this moment in the race. Seems to have him at arm's length at this point. Super Striker is currently about 5 seconds behind ZX10 at the moment, as Cucumber is coming into the pits here at the end of lap 23. So's Formula C. So Super Striker's got work to do. Obviously there's cars in between them, but saying that, a few of them are pitted now, so actually it's only Honey Badger really that he's got to negotiate. Formula C into the pits. We see Cucumber, also Corey and Little Mahane all into the pits for some, well, depends. Some of them have gone for mediums, some of them have gone for the hards. I think a 13 lap stint, I think the hard tyre's got to be the tyre of choice, but I think for some of them they didn't have a choice because they've used only the hard tyres throughout this race so far. That obviously plays your cards for you essentially, because you have to use both compounds. Onzi here, it's going to make the move on Andrew Pittsmith into turn 3, up into 7th place he goes. Jordan will be waiting in the wings behind him. Andrew and Jordan teammates. I wonder if Andrew's going to play the team game. He does. Very nice of him. As Jordan goes up into 8th place there, and continues his battle here with Onzi. And it could definitely be a top 5 here for these guys tonight. I don't know about a top 3 yet, we'll have to wait and see. I think that might be a little bit beyond. I think it's ZX10, Honey Badger and Super Striker have got those positions locked out, barring any major catastrophes, but for sure this could be a top 5 on the line here for these two tonight, Onzi and Jordan. As Angry Guns and Lucky Luciano both in the pits at the end of lap 24, so is Andrew Pipsmith. And Jordan there had got out of it a little bit there, didn't want to make a move into turn 1. Very sensible, because making a move into turn 1 just makes you almost guaranteed to get overtaken in the into turn 2 or 3, so you really are much more better off just waiting going through turn 1 and not getting overexcited. As they come into turn 3 once again, Jordan still can't get ahead of Onzi for the time being. Super Striker here on the back of Honey Badger at the moment, as they're coming down towards the final couple of corners once again. As Honey Badger there pits. So interesting, because I was wondering if maybe ZX10 was planning on going to the end. Obviously he's on the same age tyres as Honey Badger, but Honey Badger's come into the pits. So done 11 laps on those hard tyres. I would have thought they'd go 20 laps, done about 22. But to be fair, the rate that Super Striker's gaining here on ZX10, I think maybe ZX10 might be better off coming into the pits anyway. But we'll see. So at the moment, Super Striker pulling up onto the back here of the Mercedes. And he's going to get the run here down towards turn 3. He's going to blast past on the inside there. Easy move there for Super Striker. And he regains the lead here at the Austrian Grand Prix here at the Red Arrows of Formula 1 League here tonight. He's led he led the first stint. And he's now regained his net position. And on 3-lap old hard tyres with just 10 laps left to go, I reckon he's just going to pull away and eat this gap out and see this one out here tonight. It should be a routine victory tonight for Striker. As ZX10 there just behind. Is he going to bring it into the pits and go for a quick final stint? It doesn't look like it at the moment. Could still be on for a podium tonight because he's about 10 seconds clear of this battle between Onzi and Jordan. There's Jordan there down the inside into the penultimate corner and gets back up into 4th place there. He could give the DRS away though. Onzi's going to be pretty close through the next few corners, that's for sure. Formula C right there in the background with these guys. See, last season these guys raced on this circuit. It was the reverse, and there was also changeable conditions as well. That was an incredible race. Just remembered that, it just occurred to me. I think I almost won by Brad Races, the eventual champion of that season. I don't know what happened to him this year, but he's not on the track. Maybe it might be a reserve, I don't know, but I haven't seen him on the track so far this season. But Jordan nonetheless trying to attack on Onzi as they're coming through the double left-hander here in the middle sector. So Onzi for the time being looking pretty comfortable there in that one. So we're going to see Jordan getting a good run here down the main straight, and then he'll have a good chance to try and make something happen here through turns 2 or turn 3 maybe. Honey Badger there with a fast lap of the race. As here comes Jordan then with some slipstream, pulls to the outside now to make the move here on Onzi into turn 2. He's going to try and go around the long way here. Onzi's going to not give this one up lightly as he absolutely sends it down the inside, misses the braking point. Jordan should get an easy cutback here and gets himself up into 4th place there with that one. Now Formula C might be able a chance here, but he's a bit too far away. Onzi's going to hold on to P5 for the time being. Jordan here though up into P4. Beautifully done there from him. Super Striker gapping ZX10 right now. Cucumber currently a shoe-in for 2nd place. Oh, pardon me. I thought Honey Badger was going to try and go to the end on the hard tyres because he only put them on lap 14. But he came into the pits, has gone for some fresh hard tyres. Now we've got to watch out for him, but he's only got slightly fresher tyres than the guys up ahead of him, so he might struggle to close that gap. I'm not really sure why he pitted, to be honest. He could have been on for a podium. He was a fair way ahead. Ho-hum. Nonetheless, Cucumber should be on for a P2 here because he's well within 3 seconds of ZX10 here. And even if he wasn't, he's got 9 lap fresher tyres. So he should have a very good chance here to move himself into 2nd place. Jordan there in the background still fighting out for 4th place here with Onzi. Onzi a little bit too far back there as they go into the corner. Oh, look at that, Formula C. Where did he come from? We were just riding on board with Onzi on the back of Jordan and Formula C poking his nose around the outside. A little bit too far away to make that move into turn 3. But these three battling it out here over 4th place, should I say. As Nobby Bootnecker's got ahead of Lucky Luciano up into P11. I think Lucky Luciano might be struggling here because he's already a second ahead, is Nobby Bootneck, so not quite sure what's happened there. But I don't know if Lucky Luciano might be struggling here at this point, maybe some damage on the car potentially. As we see Cucumber here's made the move on ZX10 out, up the hill into turn 2. Bit of a lock up there from Cucumber, but nothing to be too concerned about. There's Onzi here up the inside of Jordan into turn 2. Is it job done? He looks to get a decent exit, but Jordan's got DRS now. He might have a chance, maybe. I think he's a bit too far away. Jordan's going to have to sit in behind Formula C, waiting to attack here in the background. Look at this. But Onzi here getting ahead of Jordan Hillier, and he's made that stick up into 4th place. Formula C is going to be waiting the wings to try and deliver another blow here to Jordan as we approach the closing stages here for this Austrian Grand Prix. This is for P4. Formula C's currently got it done because of the fact that he hasn't got a penalty, so he will get the position by default if he stays where he is at the moment. He's got Honey Badger only 2 seconds behind him though on 2 lap pressure tyres, so he needs to be careful. He can't just get complacent. He's much better off if he gets ahead of these guys, because then he can defend from Honey Badger, who will be fighting him for position if he gets onto the back of him, that's for sure. But Onzi again suffering from chronic understeer here tonight, and chronic understeer is the gateway to picking up an enormous amount of penalties on this Formula 1 25 game, and in fact any F1 game over the last few years, to be perfectly honest with you. But Jordan nonetheless has got DRS here as they come down towards turn 3, but he's again just a bit too far away there to really have... Oh my goodness me! Formula C, where on earth did he come from? He's up the inside there, and he gets himself into P5. Beautifully done there from Formula C. Lovely move. Took full advantage there. And Formula C there getting ahead of Jordan. Jordan caught napping there as he went into turn 3. Nothing he could do about that one. As Corey's got a penalty. Currently running in 8th place at the moment, it's Corey. Championship leader before tonight. I don't know if he still will be. Formula C's got a... Oh, I know was not far behind him in the standings. Super Striker, I know, can't make every race, which is a real ball ache for him, obviously, because if it wasn't for that, he'd be in a chance of winning the championship every season, because he's an incredibly quick driver. He's always in the fight for the win. Doesn't matter what track, you can always count on him fighting for the win, or at least a podium. I don't think I've ever seen him finish a race off at a podium here at Red Arrows. He is one of the very best here on PlayStation, and in fact across all platforms, to be honest. I still find it hard to get used to the fact that we're racing on all platforms, even though majority of the community at Red Arrows are PlayStation, and majority of the communities that I commentate on are PlayStation. It's still, I think all these communities are rooted in PlayStation, and that's the thing, and that's why I always reference it. But the actual reality now is that generally you have quite a mix-up in terms of the roots of these participants. But nonetheless, Honey Badger's pulled up onto the back now of this train of cars. Crucially though, Formula C's got 2 cars in between himself and Honey Badger. These two, the only 2 out of this quartet who haven't got a penalty, so they're going to be fighting out for 4th place. But Honey Badger trying to make the move here on Jordan into turn 2. As in the foreground there, Formula C got a horrendous exit there out of turn 2, and that could give Onzi a chance to make the move. He's going to be around the outside, and he's going to get that one done there. So Onzi back up into P4, and this is going to give Honey Badger now a chance, because there were 2 drivers in between them. There's now no one between them. With Honey Badger getting the move done on Jordan and Formula C losing out there to Onzi, this fight for 4th place is now well and truly on. So Honey Badger here is pulling up onto the back of the Williams car, and this is going to be an exciting fight here. Obviously you've got a 4-car battle for our eyes to enjoy, and also in terms of the bigger picture, in terms of the race, you've got these guys, Formula C and Honey Badger, battling it out over 4th and 5th places on the classification. Looks to the inside, Honey Badger too far away into turn 1, and the thing is now Formula C can use, if I say what, Formula C might actually be better off staying behind Onzi here, because then he can use the DRS to defend from Honey Badger, but he just needs to make sure he parks his car in the right places here and doesn't let any gaps form. He needs to make sure he doesn't get caught napping into any of these braking zones. But I reckon Formula C might try and stay behind Onzi here and just use the DRS as a mechanism to keep Honey Badger at bay. ZX10 here is on the back of Cucumber. Has not given up in this one. Fair play to ZX10. I think a podium's guaranteed, but he has got a penalty which Cucumber hasn't, so Cucumber should be able to secure 2nd place here in this one. Oh, pardon me. I do apologise. But nonetheless, we see Formula C on the back of Onzi as they start the penultimate lap of the race here. Is he just going to sit in behind here and use this DRS to his advantage? He might have to make the move here because he's got the other drivers very close behind him as they come up the hill here into turn 2. He's going to look to try and go around the long way here. Is Formula C, and he just tucks in for the time being. Is he trying to stay behind? Thing is though, Honey Badgers could have a single shot on both of them here, but he's just a bit too far away here down towards turn 3, and Formula C again survives. Honey Badger, oh, he's looking up the inside. It was, I think he had about a 30% chance there of making that one happen. It's most likely not going to happen. He's down the inside of the next corner though. Honey Badger lunges one into the first of the two left-handers, and he's made the move up into P5, and now Formula C losing out to Jordan as well. So Formula C has lost the chance to take P4 here. Honey Badger now occupying that spot on the penalties. He's now going to look to the outside here of Onzi, and Honey Badger swoops around the outside into the penultimate corner up into 4th place. So Honey Badger there has taken full advantage, and Formula C is going to be P5 here, I reckon, because he's still in the catchment of Onzi and Jordan with the penalties, but he's just lost 4th place here on the penultimate lap of the race, which I'm sure will be frustrating him a little bit as we see Ernie's left the session. But Super Striker's got just a few corners left here for this Austrian Grand Prix tonight here at the Red Arrows Formula 1 League. Currently 9 seconds clear of Cucumber as Angry Guns has just got ahead of Corey up into 8th place on this final lap of the race. But Super Striker doing a phenomenal job, qualified on the front row alongside ZX10er, and got the lead pretty early on in this race and didn't look back. Had a good lead at the end of the first stint, and just controlled things once he regained the lead in the second stint, and he's going to come over the line here to take the win here at the Red Bull Ring, and a very comfortable win at that, with Cucumber out of the final corner here to take 2nd place. Not a million miles behind, but certainly didn't trouble Super Striker today, that's for sure. ZX10er over the line to complete the podium, a grid drive from the pole sitter. Honey Badger will take 4th place on the road and on the classification, with Onzi losing out to Formula C and Jordan as well losing out to Formula C. So Formula C 5th, Onzi and Jordan 6th and 7th, with Angry Guns over in 8th. Corey classified in 9th place. Little Mahin completes the top 10. Dave's already finished the race a lap down in P15. We see Nobby Bootneck there over in 11th, ahead of Lucky Luciano in 12th. Andrew Pittsmith there, I think, gained a position over the line due to the penalties. But that is that for Red Arrows here tonight. Thanks to the drivers for putting on a great show. Thanks for having me. As always, guys, great action. Really enjoyed it. And looking forward to the next one. But congratulations to Super Striker on a very comfortable win there indeed. And also to the podium finishers, Cucumber and ZX10er. Cucumber came out of nowhere really to sort of bag that 2nd place, and some very good points there for him. And ZX10er as well. Got to say, a good job there. Obviously qualified on pole. And yeah, some very good points there. But thanks everybody, and we'll see you all soon.